Top 10 different countries' best ways to give thanks in 2022. The Pilgrims gathered in 1621 to give thanks for a plentiful harvest after suffering a challenging first winter in the New World. The two groups congregated for several days after they extended an invitation to the neighbouring Wampanoag tribe to join them. We hope everyone remembers how the first Thanksgiving in the United States came to be roughly 400 years ago. Thanksgiving celebrations with loved ones and friends over food are at the very least a proper way to continue the tradition. On this list, there are 11 more countries that have specific times of the year for giving thanks. Number 10, Katazan Harvest Festival, Malaysia. A magnificent harvest festival celebration in the city of Sabah on the west coast of Malaysia marks the end of the month of May. The Katazan people started celebrating harvest festivals in the 1950s to strengthen their feeling of identification with their rice farming background. Rice is the main diet of the Katazan people, who believe that each grain of rice carries a spirit they call a bambazan. The occasion to thank bambazan for the previous year's rice crop is the celebration. On May 30th, traditional sporting competitions like arm wrestling, buffalo racing, and bamboo stilt racing take place. There are also contests for singing, wine, and dance. On the 31st, there is a meeting of people from many cultures at the Erntedankfest building. The day comes to a close when the Erntedankfest, or Harvest Festival Queen, is crowned. Number 9, Erntedankfest, Germany. Germany celebrates Erntedankfest on the first Sunday in October. The translation is thanks for the harvest celebration. Erntedankfest is a time to praise God for the benefits of the harvest. Wheat and fruits are placed on their altars as part of the celebration in both Catholic and Protestant churches. In some villages, a harvest queen is chosen, and she receives a wheat wreath during the parade. The Erntekrone, or harvest crown, is a wreath with paper and ribbon flowers at the base that is held up by a pole. According to one of the earliest stories, the final few must be weaved together and kept in the house for good luck in order to ward off the grain demon from the harvests. During Erntedankfest, fresh food procured from local crops is easily accessible for meals. There are typically large roasted birds on the menu, and turkey has recently become more popular. Number 8, Sukkot, Israel. The Jewish holiday of Sukkot, which lasts 7 days and starts 5 days after Yom Kippur, celebrates both the harvest and God's protection of the Israelites when they fled Egypt. The taking of the 4 kinds is one of the most important Sukkot rites. The etrog, citron, lulav, palm frond, 3 hadassim, myrtle twigs, and 2 eravo are the 4 kinds, willow twigs. The 4 kinds are 4 groups of Jews, each with a particular level of Torah study. The 4 kinds are gathered together to represent the nation's diversity and still show its togetherness. Candles are lighted at night on Yom Tov, the first 2 days of Sukkot, and Kiddush, kosher wine, is served prior to meals. During the Chol Hamoed, middle days, rules are a little more lenient, giving families more time for family trips. On the first of the last 2 days, Shmini Atzeret, people spend time in their sukkah without saying a blessing. Simchat Torah occurs on the last day. Each evening, after dancing and singing with the Torah scrolls, candles are lit and a joyful dinner is served. In Israel, the final days are divided into 2 days, although they are combined into one. Number 7, Pongal, India. Pongal is a 4-day celebration that takes place in the middle of January in South India. It was given the name spilling over because it was customary to let a boiling pot of rice overflow. Pongal originated as a Dravidian harvest festival some 2,000 years ago. It is related to the Thai Naradal, a momentous occurrence that happened between 300 and 900 AD in the Pallava dynasty. During this holiday, young girls avoided using foul language, abstained from eating dairy products, didn't oil their hair, and wished for rain and prosperity. In Hindu mythology, Pongal signifies the end of a 6-month period of darkness and the start of the god's day. On the first day, known as Bogi Pongal, farmers dedicate their tools and then use them to cut the freshly harvested rice as a kind of prayer for the ground and the sun. The sun god is honored on the second day, Surya Pongal. The third day, Matu Pongal, is devoted to cattle. They are given a day of rest and are washed, painted, and adorned to thank them for all of their hard work. Pongal brings all of this to an end by dedicating one more day to the festival of the sun god. Number 6 Harvest Moon Festival, China. Harvest Moon Festival, commonly known as the Mid-Autumn Festival, was declared a national holiday in China during the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907. It is believed that the holiday was originally mentioned in Confucius' Book of Rites, which is around 2,400 years old. It was portrayed as a day when kings would celebrate the harvest with a lavish feast and sacrifices to the moon. For thousands of years, this has been a time when families and communities have gathered and feasted to show their appreciation for the grain harvest. The Harvest Moon Festival, which is currently taking place, is a time for family get-togethers and a chance for the people and the moon to rejoin and form a full cycle. Mooncakes and the Harvest Moon Festival are related, just as turkey and the American Thanksgiving are related. The most common kind of mooncakes are those made with lotus seed paste, salted egg yolk, and lard. A palm-sized piece of cake has over 1,000 calories. Some believe that the gluttonous, commercialized aspect of the mooncake festival has grown recently. Mooncakes are stressed because they typically end up in landfills when offered as lavish gifts. Number 5 Kanro Kansha no Hai, Labor Thanksgiving Day, Japan. Since 1948, Japan has celebrated Labor Thanksgiving on November 23. The day was a time to express gratitude for the plentiful rice harvests and the hard work of the farmers from the year 678 until the Meiji period, 1868 to 1912. Shinto celebrations were banned after World War II, and religious observances had to be kept secret as a result of American rule. On Labor Day, we should be grateful for all the work that has been done. Young pupils make gifts and notes for city workers. Additionally, it's an opportunity to catch up with family and friends while enjoying delicious food and companionship. One of the largest events on November 23 is the Nagana Labor Festival. It encourages respect for the environment, world peace, and human rights and has the backing of labor unions. Thousands of Japanese gather to watch the Nagano Ebisuko Fireworks Festival at night as the main attraction of their Labor Thanksgiving. Number 4 Thanksgiving, Grenada. Since 1983, Grenada has only formally commemorated Thanksgiving. In a coup, the government of Grenada was overthrown in 1979. Widespread unhappiness was brought on by numerous leadership changes in the middle of October 1983, which ultimately led to a U.S. invasion. Grenadians put a date in their calendars on October 25 to remember the day when America assisted their country in regaining its sense of order. Thanksgiving is now a time for family gatherings, remembering loved ones who have passed away, and celebrating their contributions to the development of the country. Number 3 Crop Over Festival, Barbados. When Barbados was one of the world's largest producers of sugar in the late 18th century, the Crop Over Festival first appeared. The festival celebrated a successful cane crop. Both the festival and Barbados' sugar industry eventually started to suffer. In the 1940s, the practice was fully stopped. Fortunately, the festival was brought back in 1974. A king and queen are crowned during the ceremonial delivery of the last canes of the current Crop Over Festival. They are known for being the best male and female cane cutters of the season. Bands perform at a festival called Kohablapot while decked out in elaborate costumes. Another occasion where youngsters dress up and perform for judges is the Kiddies Kdument. The first Monday in August is recognized as Kdument Day, a federal holiday that signifies the end of the 6-week festival. The finale is the Grand Kdument, a carnival procession in which bands dress up to represent various themes. Calypso music is playing as visitors come at Spring Garden, where they may eat, drink, and even swim at the beach. Number 2 Homowo, Ghana. Over the course of a month, the Ga people of Ghana's Greater Accra region celebrate the Homowo Festival. It is a harvest festival that starts in May. In pre-colonial times, a poor harvest brought on by a lack of rain gave rise to a severe famine. The Ga invented the festival to mark the arrival of the rains. The celebrations begin with the planting of the grain. Homowo is roughly translated as hooted hunger, and during the entire month-long event, city officials strictly enforce the ban on any loud music and noise. Declaring one's hunger in public is encouraged. Throughout the festival's duration, a lot of things happen. On Twins Day, all twins wear white calico. A boat race between Asafo groups of warriors is another occasion. A dance known as Akpanlogo is also performed during the ceremony. Parades down the streets frequently feature singing, face painting, chanting, and drumming. Families get together to talk through issues and resolve disputes. They consume popoi, a dish made of maize that is served with palm nut soup. Hooting at hunger continues while drinks are offered to the dead and the ancestors. Number 1 Thanksgiving, the Netherlands. The nation on the list with the closest ties to the American holiday is the Netherlands, which celebrates Thanksgiving in honor of the Pilgrims who resided there before emigrating to the New World. Around the end of 1607, people began migrating to the Dutch Republic because they could openly practice their religion there. The majority of them eventually arrived at Leiden. Many pilgrims struggled to find employment as their society expanded because they lacked formal schooling. The terrible labor circumstances, the libertine Dutch, the potential for conflict with the inquisitorial Spanish, and the fact that the pilgrim children were maturing differently than their parents made it imperative to transfer once more. They decided on the New World, and the rest, as they say, is history. Leiden uses Thanksgiving as a chance to renew its ties with the Pilgrim forefathers, despite the fact that the Pilgrims' time in the Netherlands hardly registered on American historical radar. An annual Thanksgiving service is held at the Pieterskerk, a Gothic church where one of the Pilgrim leaders, John Robinson, is buried. Attending the interfaith service, the mayor of Leiden speaks to the gathering. If you attend, be sure to swing by the neighbouring Mayflower escape room.